Welcome to BI TV, your fortnightly recap of global business intelligence and analytics news, views, and reviews. The first piece that piqued our interest over the past fortnight was an article written by Senior Managing Director for Accenture Analytics, Narendra Mulani. His article, titled "Take an Issues-Driven Approach to Business Intelligence," was published on computerweekly.com and asserts that most organisations are not generating the value from their data that their BI systems promise. Mulani suggests that a lack of context is to blame. He offers an example, stating that without context, a sudden plunge in the sales hits a region of a global seed company, and management wouldn't be able to attribute the loss to the heat wave that caused water tables to drop and crops to wilt. Mulani argues that organisations need to have a mechanism for connecting raw data with real-world events to help people understand the underlying actions that produce patterns and trends within a dataset. To address this challenge, Mulani suggests that organisations need to take an issues-driven approach to BI. By setting BI objectives based on specific business issues, rather than the available data, Mulani claims that organisations can optimise decision-making and performance. He offers 4 characteristics that define an issues-driven BI approach, including 1. Start with questions addressing the business issue, not the data. Mulani says that issues-driven BI starts with identifying strategic questions relating to a business problem. From there, organisations can start designing issues-driven BI solutions and identify the key data that will give them the answers that they need. 2. Know your users. The BI team needs to know their users, their skills, the type of business problems they're trying to solve, how those problems relate to broader organisational goals, and therefore the types of data reports and visualizations and timeliness of information required. 3. Look beyond ERP to new tools and techniques. So Mulani says that you need to look beyond ERP data to engage multiple data sources and types from within the business and externally to feed your BI program. To capitalise on these additional emergent data types and sources, you need to look to engage new technologies capable of managing, processing and analysing that information. And 4, embed analytics into BI. And lastly, Mulani says that a BI program should embrace analytics within the BI platform itself. What he means in this instance is that the BI solution should be set up to send automated alerts to relevant users when data falls outside predefined thresholds or benchmarks. This, Mulani argues, enables people to take faster action and address potential business issues before they become problems. Our next story looks at a global report compiled by TechPro Research. The report, called Big Data Trends, Costs, Payoffs, Outcomes and Staffing, examines big data trends in the enterprise. Based on 144 respondents worldwide from a range of organisation sizes across various industries, the report analysed the benefits gained by those who had already implemented a big data initiative. 46% of respondents reported either having already implemented big data, are in the midst of implementation, or planning to implement. Notably, the report revealed that big data implementations remain in relative infancy, with only 8% of survey participants having already implemented a big data project. 12% were in the midst of implementing, 26% were planning to implement, while 54% had no big data implementation plans. Of those who have implemented big data, 82% reported having achieved some form of return on investment. The most common big data payoffs for organisations were cited as the areas of business analytics, data management, speeding up decision-making capabilities, and forecasting future trends. While only 4% said that they had not realised any discernible value from big data, it's worth noting the experimental stage of big data investment, with only 32% of those investing in big data agreeing that they had seen a clear and compelling return on investment, with the bulk of our big data goals realised. Again, highlighting the emergent nature of the big data industry is the fact that 46% of respondents to TechPro's survey said that they were experiencing difficulties finding qualified candidates to fill big data roles within their organisation. The next article that caught our collective eye was written by Bill Shander, CEO of interactive data visualization agency Beehive Media, and published on harvardbusinessreview.org. The piece, titled "Does Your Company Actually Need Data Visualization?" takes a critical look at the role that the process of visualizing information can play for organizations looking to communicate concepts to its stakeholders. Essentially, Shander stipulates that data visualization does have limitations to its usefulness, stating that if you're selling straightforward solutions to simple problems, data visualization is probably not worth the money. For example, Playboy don't need to educate the opposite sex about their centerfolds. Shander's point is that such ideas, information, and concepts speak for themselves. On the other hand, Shander says, if you're selling a complex answer to a complex problem, you should be embracing data visualization with gusto. The article embraces a number of interesting real-world B2C and B2B examples to mount its argument and provides a broader view of the usefulness of data visualization outside the confines of a business intelligence framework. Now, having said that, Shander offers several examples that point to the potential effectiveness of customer-facing analytics when coupled with data visualization capabilities. For example, in 2010, BCG and the World Economic Forum wanted to demonstrate the economic benefits of employee wellness programs. They created an interactive graphic that lets executives calculate in 90 seconds roughly how much their companies could save by instituting such a program, based on the statistical data of other companies' wellness programs. Additionally, Booz & Company published an interactive data visualization graphic that lets companies determine how easy it is to make acquisitions that enhance shareholder value across 8 major sectors. Published alongside an article in its thought leadership magazine, Strategy Plus Business, this interactive graphic revealed insights and details of all 300 plus deals. Booz & Company's web analytics show that the viewers of this graphic stay longer on the website, engage more with the content, and come back to it over a longer period of time than its average website viewer. Founder of advisory firm Analytics-Based Performance Management, Gary Cockins, recently wrote an instructive analytics best practice guide for informationmanagement.com. Titled "How to Get the Most from Business Analytics," the piece explores the processes organisations should take to achieve maximum value from business analytics. To that end, Cockins dispenses 3 core pieces of advice. 1. Find a balance between bottom-up and top-down approaches. Cockins quotes Silicon Valley guru Curtis Carlson, who states that in a world where so many people now have access to education and cheap tools of innovation, innovation that happens from the bottom up tends to be chaotic but smart. Innovation that happens from the top down tends to be orderly but dumb. Cockins argues that the sweet spot is somewhere in the middle. Now, what this means in relation to a business analytics implementation is that to drive the adoption of analytics, you need to engage the executive team for sponsorship, but you also need to use passionate middle managers as BI champions to ensure analytic adoption. 2. Identify your BI champions. Cockins explains that you need to seek out people who exhibit and embody 3 core leadership qualities to help influence analytic acceptance and steer your BI project towards success. These 3 qualities are defined as care. Followers believe that leaders care about them and their organisation. Trust and hope. Followers believe that supporting a leader will improve things. Direction. Leaders can answer the question, where do we want to go? Enabling followers to help answer the subsequent question, how will we get there? In terms of execution, Cockins says that middle manager champions should exhibit the first 2 qualities, while executive leaders must communicate the third. And number 3, assemble a team of skilled analysts who can communicate the value of data analysis to the executive team, middle manager champions, and end users. Our final article for this episode was originally published by McKinsey Quarterly, compiled by Brad Brown, Director at McKinsey's New York office, David Court, Director at McKinsey's Dallas office, and Paul Wilmot, Director at McKinsey's London office. The piece, titled "How to Mobilize Your C-Suite for Big Data Analytics," provides an extensive overview of how to convey the value of data analytics to an organisation's executive management team and affect the subsequent change required to derive maximum value from reporting and analytics. The purpose of the article, as defined by the authors themselves, is to clarify the most important tasks for executives in harnessing business analytics, and set out some critical questions whose answers will inform any required reconfiguration of the C-suite. The article warns that, daunting as it may seem to rethink top management roles and responsibilities, failing to do so, given the cross-cutting nature of many data-related opportunities, could well mean jeopardising top or bottom line growth and opening the door to new competitors. We can't do this comprehensive piece justice in the time we have. Suffice to say that any management team seriously considering making data analytics a priority should take the time to have a read and understand the potential impacts and commitments involved. Brown, Court and Wilmot conclude the article by arguing that for companies pursuing the potential of data analytics, a decision about leadership capacity looms, regardless of where in the end they decide to place it. For some, current top team members will be asked to step up and assume broader leadership responsibilities, often with additional support from new senior lieutenants. For others, establishing one or more new senior posts to drive the analytics agenda will be the best solution. At all companies, top teams need a better understanding of the scale of what's needed to ensure data analytics success. We'd like to leave you with a discussion worthy of further comment on that Advanced Analytics LinkedIn group. The question posed by Vice President of Nuvera, Todd Milligan, is what things prevent analytics groups from maximising the value they bring to their organisation? It's a controversial topic that should garner some good responses. Well, that's all we have time for. We'll catch you again soon for another episode of BI TV.